What's up? I bought into the Libero Academy and I've been learning about the split step and stuff like that, and I kind of just want to make a video about that. So I went through the Libero Academy for about all of my 17-2 season. I didn't make the 17-1s team because I needed some work, and I lost. Like, we didn't get far in our first tournament of the season. Like, I think we got like into the gold bracket, or not even got into gold bracket. We got into like bracket itself, and then like lost our first bracket match. So I went home like that night, and I was like really fucking pissed, and I like bought Libero Academy that night, and the biggest thing was the split step, which is what I'm going to talk to you about today. So what I learned about the split step, especially when it comes to serve receive and float serves in general, is that you already are probably doing the split step without even knowing it. So the first level of the split step, I'm pretty sure, I'm gonna fact check this and I'll put all the right information everywhere, it doesn't really matter. It's my bike in the way. Hold on, I'm trying to fix this bike right now and it's just in the way. We're just gonna move this. So yeah, first part of this information would be the unconscious split, I'm pretty sure. And now the unconscious split is just a split step you're doing. I'm gonna put a video up about it, or like a video of the unconscious split, like somewhere. I'm pretty new to this.
In athletes is this natural widening. We think we're in a balanced position, but naturally when we split, we get wide. We're going to talk about this in the tier 3 of how we can avoid this widening. So you can see with this athlete, a great serve, right? But really 0 steps towards the ball. We see it again in another great serve. And you can see just how late she is. We'll talk about timing later, but the ball is almost right at her, still no steps. She's leaning, vulnerable. The ball makes that last second flow.
So unconscious split, you're splitting and you're doing it maybe not off the server's hand, or you're doing it a little before, so your timing's already fucked up. And then you're wide, so you're probably sprawling out more, and you have to lean, and then you shank the pass, and then you get subbed. You're out of here. 13 for 23, get the hell off the court. So that's the first level. Second level is when you're trying to do the split, but you're bad at it, right? So that's tier 2. Yeah, Dustin Watten, who does Libero Academy, is like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Now I'm trying to get to tier 4. I don't know if I am at tier 4 yet, but I'm pretty close. Tier 2, which is maybe tier 2 is the unconscious split and tier 1 isn't. Basically, unconscious split is what you're probably at right now. So tier 2 would be the very inconsistent split, right? So that's when, this is what I had for most of my season. I'll put up some videos where I was splitting, but I wouldn't put my feet back to center, or I was splitting, but I would start low and then split, and I'd be like weird, So you have to keep your, I'll break down how to do the split step after this, but I'm just breaking down all the tiers first. So this was you're splitting and you're just doing it wrong, right? So maybe you look like a dumbass like I did for most of my season, and you were playing a DS and you started as a libero, and you just got a bunch of bad. It was just bad, right? So tier 3 is when you actually start getting good at the split step, right? I'll put like a clips like as I keep talking, but tier 3 of the split step is basically what you see a lot of pro players doing. Now, tier 3 is when you land on both feet and then you move towards the ball, right? So let's say you do your split step approach, I'll go into that later, and you split, right? And then you're off the ball, you're moving towards the ball, but you land on both feet. So now this is, you have to build a base off this. Like, if you fuck this up, then you cannot go to tier 4, which is where you really start getting growth in this split step. Now I'd say I'm just coming off of this stage, or I'm like, I'm really starting to master this stage. Like, I'm not there yet, but naturally I'm moving to tier 4, which is you split and then you move off one foot. You don't land off the other. So depending on where the ball's coming, let's say you're receiving a float serve and you know, server hits it, it's going to your left. So you split, land on your right foot, push off, and you're going to your left, you know, towards the ball, and there you're behind it. You pass. Everybody loves you, and now you've got an NCAA Division I scholarship. You know, that's how that works. So those are the four tiers to the split step. Now I'm going to teach you how to do the split step and do it correctly, because a lot of people just mess up, right? So the basic principles of the split step are keeping the same balance, right? Or like keeping the same athletic posture, not widening, right? You can't widen or you'll fuck everything up. And hold on, I just got a message. Holy shit. Okay. Keeping the same posture, not widening. You can do this by a couple of ways. I'll go into that. And being reactive, right? Now, this is the best way I can explain it. I'm really bad at explaining things, but we're getting there, okay? So there's two ways you can do this. You can do the one-footed split step or the two-footed split step. Now, and I'm gonna put a clip here soon, hopefully. I'm just doing this for myself because, you know, I keep repeating this, but I'm really bad at editing. So, you know, I'm just putting this for myself so I remember to put clips in. So for the one-footed split step, we have people like Dustin, Watten mainly. There's other pro players, I really just can't think of them right now. And they will step with one, split, you know, and they'll go off, right? And when it comes to the one-footed split step, you need to like try to think of a triangle, right? So these are your feet, right? So let's say you step inward so that when you split, you don't widen, because that was one of the things we talked about, right? And you want to time it so that as soon as you split, it's like as soon as the hitter contacts the ball. Not hitter, server, I'm tripping, right? So what? Let's say they're doing a float serve, right? You're 1, 2, split, and then, you know, land on both, go this way, go that way, yada yada. Now, two-footed split step, or like the approach split step, this is what I do. So let's say there's a float server, right? It's 1, 2, split, right? And you're widening, which is all right because you're already, like, you're basically standing. So if you're widening, you're getting into an athletic posture. The last thing you want to do is widen outside of an athletic posture. Now you're screwed. You can't pass. You're lunged out. You look like a dummy, and your coach is like, 13 for 23, get him out of here, right? You know, we've all heard that whistle. You're you know, trying to give people high fives on the bench. Everybody's looking at you like, what an idiot. Like, why did we even get this guy on here, right? Now, I've kind of showed clips, but I'll do like a breakdown, right? It's better to do it in the mirror. So, I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, so for this segment of the video, I wanna have a big emphasis on my feet because that's where the split step comes from. I'm gonna start with the one-footed split step because I feel like that's, you know, you need to experiment with both, but this is really where I got my start. So I'm gonna do like that. So let's say you're in your athletic position. Let's say you're just like here, right? So you're gonna go one, inward, and then split to balance out, right? So that you're gonna split at the same time the server is contacting the ball. So let's say you're here, split, good. But make sure when you're splitting, you're staying athletic, you're staying in your position, because what I would do is I would go and split up, which is bad. Do not do that. So there's that. Use that, that works really well. By the way, do not use these split steps for digging. Digging is a whole separate topic I'll go into another video. Approach split step, this is the one I use. So let's say, I'll get into different heights as well, because I just had a thought. But basically, I'll show the approach split step and then I'll get into the heights, right? So approach, let's say I'm digging a float, 1, 2, split, good. Now I can move off one, I can be nimble, if the ball floats up, I can open the door, boom, good pass. Good, that's great. Now, for height, when it comes to receiving floats, I say you have to be more upright so you can move more, because you know floats are sporadic, you don't know what the hell they're gonna do. I go, so this is how I do float serves. I keep my hands out wide so I don't like form my platform too early. I can get into that, make a whole separate video. But I keep my hands out wide so I don't form my platform too early. I go 1, 2, split off contact, and then when I find it, I just get under it, pass it. That's a good ball. But if it's a top spin, I'll go 1, 2, split. Do the same thing, but I get lower because top spins come down with more spin, and you know, you can just like eat that more. But like with a float, you have to add energy. With the topspin, you're trying to take it away or like absorb it. Okay, cool. I'll add some more things, but that's the basic concept of the split step. I don't really have anything to sell or anything to like give you. You don't have to like, you don't have to sub or anything like that. Just want to help people out with the split. Give me some knuckles, bro.